I want to talk about Jump School because, by the way, guys, one of the things that is important for you to know is that when we talk about discipleship and mentorship, Ed Stetzer said one thing in Viral Churches that really stuck with me, that church planters that have direct mentorship have 135% higher success rate in their survivability as a plant. Now, that is the uniting factor. That's what he brings out of it. He says guys who have what Timothy had from Paul, that mentorship, and what Titus had, and what Epaphroditus had, all those guys that Paul mentioned, Silvanus, that mentorship, those are the guys that survive. It will increase your chance by 135%. And so because of that, we've chosen to present Jump School. We're excited. It's been over 3 years in the making. And Pete, tell us a little bit about it, man.
Sure. Yeah, I'll talk somewhat about it, but you're going to have to fill in a lot of the blanks.
They need to hear you so they can see why they don't agree with you on anything.
And see, that's if you guys, if you have not been listening to the Church Planter podcast, you will not understand that inside joke. But there's a battle raging on Twitter with hashtags I do agree with Pete and I don't agree with Pete. So I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, Jump School is, first of all, it's an online training course and a community for church planners that are in the trenches. And basically what we're doing with Jump School is it provides all the training you need to plant your first church. Plus, obviously, true to this webinar, it will teach you from day one how to become a multiplication movement. So who is this for? Well, first of all, it's for you. It's for church planners who haven't started yet. It's for church planners who are about ready to launch. It's for church planners who have already launched, and it's for pastors that are looking to plant out of their current church. And that's actually, we've had a lot of pastors come to us because they want to know how do we plant out. I mean, that's not been maybe even how they got their church. And then it's for your Nana. I don't know what that's all about, Peyton.
I put that in there because basically it's for anybody. You've heard me talk about it already. It's for equipping the saints. I mean, really, it's kind of like where Moses goes, "Would to the Lord that all his people were prophets." I don't think we got to hide the goodies, man. I think we got to chuck goodies at people, and we think of ministerial training. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe strongly in leadership. Leadership exists. You hear guys right now, they're like, oh, no, there's not. Well, that's what Ephesians 4 is. It's leadership. But ministry's for everybody. But the reality is people will emerge as leaders, others won't, and you know that. When an accident, I was a firefighter, when an accident happens, natural leaders just run up and start helping the people. Other people pull out their phones and record the event. You know what a leader is, and in a church situation, it's no different. But every single person, if you're a church planner, definitely for you. If you're a guy who thinks about church planning, definitely for you. But if you've never planner, you just are going to be a part of a team. It's good for you too, and we've incorporated that in. So I just want people to understand it's for everybody.
So the reason why we're doing Jump School this way is you've heard Peyton mention the New Breed network that he runs, and one of the drawbacks to New Breed is New Breed requires you to come to us, and we take you on mission and get you plugged in. In fact, right now on the webinar we got Barry, who's from Wales, and he came all the way from Wales. He's going to be out here the next 6 months training with Peyton with New Breed on how to do it. And most people can't do that. I mean, he's young and stupid, so that's why he did it. but he's single too. I mean, if you got a family, you may not be able to do that.
Any church planning ladies on here? Very single.
That's right. Wasn't it his family who said he's supposed to come back with a wife or something like that?
Yeah, I actually put that on his list of his personal goals and objectives for this time with us before we send him back to plant. And I put there the last thing, and he told me, I don't know if I can do much about that one. So we'll see. You're not trying hard enough, Barry. But here's the deal. Pilgrim Benham, my buddy in Tampa Bay, serial church planner, church planning ninja. By the way, that's going to be my new site, PeytonJones.ninja, church planning ninja. Here's the deal. Are there any good materials to train apprentice future church planners? That's his question. Guys, honestly, I have joined a number of church planting courses for a couple months at a time because I wanted to know like what's out there for my guys, because I get asked all the time that question: how do I train? Where's the good materials? There's a lot of good books. In fact, part of what we're offering in Jump School is an essential reading list that you can, grab, and we'll do like reviews of them, audio reviews. But when he says, are there any good materials, guys, the reason we're doing this is because the programs I joined one, and it was like someone's recycled conference audio. And I remember it was like, waitress, hello? Like, nobody was there to help me. I didn't even know, like, and it was a scheduled webinar, and if you missed it, that was it, right? And so it didn't help me. There was another one I did where it was like the guy had one model, and it was the big launch. And what he would do every week was try to fit you into his, or every month was fit you into his model. And he would send you things that you probably weren't really going to use in your context. It wasn't adaptable. It wasn't scalable. It was all about the big launch. Another network that I joined, the guy would send you graphics, and that was it. He'd be like, here's the package, here's the slides for your overheads, here's the campaign, you got to go print all this stuff up, and we'll put your church name in it. And I'm just like, that's not church planner training. Like, I get those are resources. Like, that's what our network does for each other. New Breed Network does that, where they share all that stuff. But that's not actually church planner training. So really, for me, guys, I see a whole, like what you heard today. I mean, I just noticed the comments. People are like, man, this is awesome. This is good stuff. This is legit. It's the real deal. You guys, and that's encouraging to me, because first thing I always say is nobody in this game is an expert. I don't care who you are. Each time I go to plan a church, it's like jumping out of the airplane for the first time, because I'm over a different jump zone. But I tell you what, if I've jumped a bunch of times, I know how to pack my parachute. I know how to do my safety checks, and that's where we're going to help you. We're going to be the Paul to you, to your Timothy. It's interactive. We will be there for you.
All right, let's keep moving in.
Yeah. Sorry,
we'll cover that stuff.
You're like, slow down, Turbo. I get excited about this. So.
Well, yeah, and we're going to cover it, and I want people to know what's involved in it. But we got a slide for that. Barry spent all that time putting the slide together, and you're like jumping in. So first of all, let's just hit it off. What does it cost? It's $147 a month, just to get that out of the way so everyone knows what it is. All right, so what's included? All right, if you're looking for graphics, advertising pieces, a short film on church planning, an audio interview of what it was like to plant a church 30 years ago, then this isn't for you. I love that slide. That one always makes me chuckle. So here's what's actually included in this. Exclusive audio lectures from Peyton's university courses on church planting. If you listen to the Church Planter podcast, you know he's also the Dean of Church Planting for Calvary University. And so we're including his lectures from his university courses on church planning.
Yeah, and I've got 8 courses, so they're all different, and they're extensive, man. One, I think, just the first class has like 20 lectures. We're not saying you'll get all of them, but it'll match the topic of that month.
Right. So the First Time Every Time Club, this is an exclusive interview with a newbie church planner. Essentially, it's a masterclass makeover where Pete and Peyton speak into his church plant. Really, Peyton speaks into the church plant. I just sit around and make snide comments and remarks.
Not true at all.
A curriculum to equip the planter. Coaching roundtable, where we're going to answer your church planning questions live on a monthly hangout call. So every month we're going to be diving deep specifically on your questions. Like even on this webinar, I was actually surprised at how many questions we had come in.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Good questions, guys.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to get to them all. So we're going to be including.
There was a side. Did you notice the side conference going on?
I know. I did because I wasn't talking. I was like reading it all, and
there's like I was talking at one point and it started throwing me off because I'm like, wow, there's a whole other conference going on in those comments.
I know. So free subscription to Church Planter magazine after the current free subscription ends. Right now, our magazine is being sponsored. And when that ends, then it'll be a paid subscription. But for everyone in Jump School, they'll always get Church Planter magazine for free. And if you're not getting it right now, you do want to get it while it's being sponsored and paid for. So it's available on your iPad or your iPhone, or also in the Android store. Just look up Church Planner Magazine, because we're the only ones. A monthly hot sheet from Peyton's Essential Church Planner Toolkit reading list for that month's topic. Monthly exclusive audiobook reviews from Pete and Peyton. Basically, we know what it's like for the Bivo guy, because Peyton is Bivo. I don't really consider myself in ministry. I'm just more like this guy who's doing
running
all this stuff
until the whale swallows him up.
Pretty much, and you have to listen to the podcast to really understand that. But we know what it's like when you've got a shortage of time, right? I mean, you're working, got your family, and you're starting a church. I mean, how do you have time to read all this stuff that's coming out there? So Peyton and I thought one of the easiest ways that we could help you guys out is we will. Anybody who listens to the podcast knows Peyton is an avid reader, and we're going to both read the books that we're talking about that month, and we're going to give you basically the executive summary on an audio format, so you guys can listen to that. This is not going to be part of Church Planner Podcast. This will be specific for Jump School people, so that way you can basically get the essence of the book if you don't have the time to actually read the whole book. So here's the course breakdown. Monthly live conference calls on month 1, Intro to Biblical Church Planting, church planting as it is in Acts. And by the way, Peyton, feel free to comment on any of these things if you want to go deeper on what we're going to be covering on these months. Month 2, Peyton calls it Boot Camp, the Planter's Calling, Character, and Gifting. Month 3, the Quartermaster, Preparation, Funding, and Support. That's like, of all of our podcasts, this is the topic on raising funds is always in the top 5 of our most downloaded podcasts. Month 4, the Terrain, Models, Strategy, Mapping, and the Spirit's Leading. Month 5, your squad, gathering your core team / vision and mission statements. Month 6, Ammo Check, gift-driven team stuff, leadership team dynamics, how not to burn people out, basic core values of a church plant. What would early church do? 3 things that need to happen. You're more important than anything you can do for me. These are all basically subtopics that we're going to be talking about in that month.
Yeah, these are kind of like mantras that, in order to survive a church plant, I'm not saying you got to have these mantras, but if you've planted and your church is done, you've been teaching things like this anyways. There's a certain culture. Maybe you haven't, and problems will come out of it if you don't. Every church has its problems, but these are things. I've been in ministry for 22 years. That's paid. I mean, obviously, I've been serving the Lord longer than that, but the reality is that these are just things, just bits of wisdom, man, that I've been able to kind of pick up along the way and kick down, and they have been essential to creating multiplication churches.
Yeah. So month 7, plan of attack. This is outreach, forward planning for outreach. Wow, you actually put Xmas in there? Not Christmas?
I did, because it's the cross, baby.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, as a Baptist, that's offensive.
It's putting the cross back in Christmas. I'm just telling you.
Shouldn't it be a T then?
Born to die. Anyway. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway,
let it forever be known.
Easter. Social stuff, serving the community. Month 8, Jump School. This is the actual launch, getting prepped up for that and doing your launch. Air support, exorcisms, healings, filling of the Spirit, and prayer. That's
Everybody
the month
wants month 9. Everybody's going to want that. Hurry up and get to month 9. Show me how.
That's the month I won't be there because, as a good Baptist, we pretty much don't believe that exorcisms happen except in third world countries. And I've told you, man, that's the most uncomfortable thing in the world for me to even... Anyway, we'll go on. Month 10, shoot to kill, preaching, counseling, and pastoral issues. Month 11, advancement, becoming a church planting church. Leadership training, raising people up through COGS. Those are communities of grace or small groups, house churches, missional communities, whatever you want to call it. COGS is just the term that we use. Month 12, digging in, lessons, pitfalls, and getting ready for the second year, which is actually going to be your hardest year in church planting. it's always the hardest year.
Yeah, and going back, Pilgrim mentions, wait, this doesn't include lightsaber training, and indeed it does, and you will be a church planting Jedi by the time you're done, a church planting ninja. That will work for some of you. The reality is, though, one of the things, and we brushed over it really quickly, is we've put together a church planting manual.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
it has been. Yeah, we went over it really quickly, but one of the things that you get is the church planting manual called Jump School, broken down in topic sections. So every month you're getting this intense, through audio, video. We're equipping you with resources. I mean, it's just killer, man. Then you're getting the street level manual on that topic. It's just super, seriously, this is what I needed when I planted. That's how we've built this, is I sat back and thought, what did I need? And then, someone to talk to, someone to help me, someone to interact with, and that the interaction thing is going to be cool, but that's it. But the manual, that is Jump School, and we cannot wait to get that out to you. And yes, you will be a church planting ninja Jedi. And we should give them a lightsaber when they're done.
We should. So here are the fast start bonuses, and the fast start bonuses. Here's what's going to happen if you decide that this is something that you want to do. You want to join this Jump School, be a part of the network. If you sign up, basically, we were going to make it just if you sign up today. We've got some really cool stuff for you, but in thinking about it, since we're going to have this on a replay, and we know that most of our guys are even listening right now. I mean, they're chatting in, going, "I got to go." We're probably going to extend this through the replay for at least the next 3 days. Is when we're going to have the replay up. So the fast start bonus, if you sign up for this while we're doing the replay, at least through that time period, maybe you want to pray about it, talk about it with your family, things like that. We understand. So these fast start bonuses will extend through the replay, but we've got the Jump School T-shirt. Maybe the fast start bonus should come with the lightsaber there, huh?
Well, maybe we could make T-shirts with lightsabers on them.
There you go. That's the T-shirt. We haven't designed the T-shirt yet, so
we need to have ones that say Church Planting Ninja in Training, and the other one needs to say Church Planting Jedi in Training,
and it needs to say Mi dragón es muy rápido. And again, you have to listen to the podcast to understand that. Yeah,
that's an insight. If you don't listen to the podcast, you won't understand half our jokes.
If you don't listen to the podcast, I'm not sure you can actually be a church planter.
I think you need to rethink your life and calling.
I think you do. So, audio recordings of classic ministry books that you need to read but probably never will. Again, we know that as a church planter, you're just busy. Life's busy. But I mean, how I consume a lot of the books. I can't really say that I read because I'm listening to them on audible.com or something like that, because when I'm driving, I just turn my car into, as Zig Ziglar said, a university on wheels. And I never let my drive time be wasted time where I'm just listening to the radio, even if it is. Dun, 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 dun. I got the power! So,
that's what Pete always listens to when he's driving down an 80s,
It's either an audiobook, a podcast, or I got the power!
Oh, that's how it should always open, right?
Always. So when finished, you'll receive a personal review of your readiness to plant. If you pass, you'll become eligible to apply to the Newbury Training Network, and that'll be no cost to you. Other fast start bonuses: Peyton's next book, Jump School: Unleashing Gospel Commandos to Take No Man's Land, and then just to be a smart aleck, I put in there Pete's next book, Small Mega Churches that choose gospel penetration over size. We're still up in the air on if Pete's going to actually write that book. More than likely, it'll be based on how many people say I agree with Pete or I don't agree with Pete in their hashtag. But so
we're going to go to Fiverr and have someone write it for us.
Of course. So also during the fast start bonuses, instead of it being the $147 a month, we'll do it for the $97 a month. And up on your screen, you should have just had a what they call a pop-ins. It popped up. You see the it's got the old logo, the Established by God logo. How do you like that one?
Well, what do you know?
We'll have to change that. But anyway, you can get registered by going to jumpschooltraining.com or click that add to cart button. and that'll get it started. So it'll officially start August 1st, but the rest of this month, here in July, we're going to be holding special calls just to get you ready for the start that's coming in August. Is there anything else that you want to say on that, Peyton?
Yeah, just that as you go through this, if you see it and you're kind of like, man, that's a lot of money, just remember 135% higher success rate. If you just got to look at it this way, if you can't afford it, and I'm not a salesman and I'm not trying to sell you, but the reality is, get your sending church to sponsor you. Get somebody to sponsor you. Because this is, we care about church planners. Everything else we've ever done is free. I've been training planners. My network was free, and eventually we had to limit it because all these fruit nuts joined up, and I'm like, I don't know these guys, and half of them are weirdos. But the reality is that if you're going to come on, where's I going? I just saw that it's saying that the website, there's an issue. We'll fix that in a second, guys. But anyways, I was just going to say that if you invest in that, however it works out, just make sure that you get your sending church to sponsor or whatever. Our heart is to do everything for you guys that we can, and this is going to help equip other guys too. And that's it, man. That's all I got to say about that.